Canada.
Go Canada.
You always come to the World Championship.
Slovensko.
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 Canada. Canada. Canada.
Jasné, Kanade. Áno, lebo nás je viac.
Hello.
Šampionátu potom.
Zase nás natáča, áno.
Riga for the third time. The third time.
officials for this game have been licensed and assigned by the International Ice Hockey Federation.
Referees for this game are Jan Rybak and Andrej Schrader. Rybak from Czechia, Schrader from Germany. It is day 4 of the 2023 World Hockey Championship. 2 games on this Monday. It's Canada starting off against Slovakia. Greg Ramsey, the longtime NHL player, 14 seasons with the Buffalo Sabres, over 1,000 games played, has been coach of the Slovak national team since 2018 and is a revered figure in that country. Got them to a bronze medal at the 2022 Olympic Games. Andre Tourigny, in his second year as the head coach of the Arizona Coyotes, 15 years as a coach in major junior hockey in the Quebec and Ontario leagues. Lucic got his first goal as a member of the Canadian national team against Slovenia, a 5-2 win for Canada. The Canadians trailed that game 1-0 after the first period.
It was a sleepy start for Canada against Slovenia. I think the quality of Slovakia will get their attention today.
21-year-old Samuel Lavai, a veteran of 3 World Junior Championships for Slovakia, gets the start and goal, plays for Slovan Bratislava in the Slovak League at a .916 save percentage there. And Sam Montembeault, the 26-year-old from Bécancour, Quebec, makes his second start of the tournament. Shut out Latvia on 23 shots in Canada's opener on Friday night. So Slovakia lost 3-2 to Czechia in its opener, then beat Latvia 2-1. And Greg Ramsey wisecracked, the one thing he'd like to change, maybe more than 2 goals.
Okay, guys. May the force be with you.
And away we go, a huge Slovak gathering here. Coming up on 4:30 local time here in Riga. Milan Lucic up for Sammy Blais. The 4th line gets the start for Canada. Adam Fantilli listed as Canada's 13th forward for this game. And Simon Nemec just arrived for Slovakia after his Utica Comets were eliminated for the American Hockey League playoffs by the Toronto Marlies. Nemec, the 2nd overall pick in last summer's NHL draft, had an outstanding first North American pro year with Utica. A right shot defenseman. Cody Glass throws out the center ice, picked up by Hudacek. Looks ahead for Matasuko. Suko. He's taken down, and Mackenzie Weegar steps into him for good measure. Lawson Krause shields off German. And Cody Glass plays it around. Here's Krause with it. Lead pass to Peyton Krebs. Krebs moves in, and he's knocked off the puck by Samuel Kanashko. Krebs stays after it. Here's German with it. Slovakia 8th in last year's World Championship, lost to Finland in the quarterfinals. Their last medal was a silver in 2012, the year they beat Canada in the quarterfinal. But of course, the headline for Slovakia, well, 2, winning the bronze medal in Beijing at the Olympics last year and having 3 players taken in the first round of the NHL draft, including the top 2 picks, Miroslav Koski and then Nemec.
They were pleased to add Nemec at this point in the tournament, and he's jumping right in the fray up against Canada, starting the game.
He arrived 2 days ago.
No easing him in. Don't worry about jet lag, just go out and play.
Here, Olivier Joseph moves up the center ice. In comes Carconi with a chance, and Lavai steered that away on the pass from Jack McBain. McBain got crunched there by Gaidos. Jake Neighbors comes in to help out. Carconi, who plays for the Arizona Coyotes, been into 9 games this year in the NHL, scored his first NHL goal, but had a great year in the American Hockey League. 31 goals in 65 games with Tucson in the AHL.
Probably helped that his NHL coach is the coach of Team Canada, Andre Tourigny. Familiar with a guy who spent most of the year in the minors.
Carconi to Neighbors, winding his way in as Canada changes. Nemec quickly ahead for Chaho. That pass misfires, Middleton back, icing called against the Slovaks.
Simon Nemec, and you're right, had a really good year. The American League is not an easy place for a teenager to play. And Nemec walked right in there. 34 points, 65 games. Jersey, I think, was wise to leave him in the minors. Now, they're having a great year themselves, but don't force him up into the NHL. Let him get his game in order down there, and no better way to get yourself into a game than get a hit early, as Nemec did.
There's Blais with a quick shot of the face-off win by Valeno, and Nemec has it back. Right shot defensemen who could move the puck and scored aren't available widely at supermarkets.
Reason why he went second.
Valeno slides that down. Polk goes back as Valeno stepped into him. Treponic taken down. And we have a penalty on the play. It's going to be a tripping call.
I think Middleton's going to get it.
And so the Slovaks will get the game's first power play.
Middleton trying to tie up Panik as the puck arrives. Takes his feet out from under him. Jacob Middleton, a physical defender, defensive defender, not going to react to anything. Canada learned the lesson last game. A couple retaliation penalties that hurt them. The referees will call little stuff after the first infraction.
Special teams hurt the Slovaks in their opening game loss against Czechia. They gave up the game-tying goal shorthanded, the game winner on the power play. 1-0 and 2-1 in that game. Here's Myers with it. That goes off a skate. Bounces right to Panik. Romiak has their power play goal. And Nemitz is right out there in the man advantage. That pass picked off by Myers sends it down. And Levi back to play it. Levi spent a couple years as well in the Quebec League with Sherbrooke of the Quebec Major Junior League. Here is Nemitz with it. We want a goal, is what they tell me that chant is.
Keep it simple.
No.
Straight to the point. I'm on the bench for Slovakia. I'd like one too. Appreciate the support.
Nemitz moves around Kraus. Slides it ahead for Regenda. Scott Lawton.
And the slash coming up on Ocular.
Yeah, so that'll do it for the Slovak power play, which had a minute and 1 left. 4-on-4 coming here as Nemitz is into it with Pierre-Olivier Joseph.
You see Lawson Krause coming in there telling Joseph, actually, they already have a penalty. Let's get out of this scrum because we're going to have a minute power play when our penalty expires. Battle here. Lawton's going to try to slap this around the boards, and Ocular doesn't really slash. He almost puts his stick into the hands of Lawton. As he was trying to wheel it around, that was the slash, or I guess a hook, probably a more correct call than a slash. And Peacemaker Lawson Krause arrives to make sure their team gets into the second half of the power play.
Some large individuals showed up. Myers, Krause.
Well, that'll either escalate or de-escalate. They'll settle things right down. Lucic has had that effect through a couple of games. Whenever he shows up to a pile, everyone sort of dissipates.
So 4-on-4 for a minute and 1. As Hunt goes back for it. Brad Hunt from Maple Ridge, BC, a late addition to this Canadian team. Threads that pass ahead to Glass. Glass for Krebs. Fake to Krebs. Try to drop that back. Feeds it back to Barron. Justin Barron slides out around. Here's Krebs on it. Leaves it there for Hunt. To the middle, Glass, back to Hunt. Walks right in, feeds it back, goes off Krebs. Now a race for it. That is Shuko, and Glass is back defending, and Glass broke up that pass.
Good decision by Glass. Little shoulder checks. Anyone going to be a 2-on-1 here? No, it wasn't. Force the puck and close off the play. Oh, Brad Hunt is so comfortable with the puck.
Slides it in here. Olivier Joseph moving in. Now Jack Quinn centers it. Quick chance at the goal for Toffoli. That's stopped by Levi. And 8 seconds from a power play.
4-on-4 puck is mostly controlled by Canada. And when you activate your defenseman and force the other team to make decisions, see 2 guys going after Quinn, that means someone's open to the back door. That someone is Tyler Toffoli. Puck just doesn't quite find his stick for the good chance.
Lawton, Canada's best face-off man, wins that draw, but it's picked up by Merrick Rivik. Three-pointer goes to Islav Rozandic. He centers it. Panik can't get a shot away. Back comes Canada. Now on the power play, Lawton in with Quinn. Jack Quinn sets it up. Here's Mackenzie Weegar. Back to Toffoli. To Weegar. Slides it across. Quinn unloads. That goes just wide. Foley. Winds in. Throws it back in front. Fantilli's stick broken and a slashing penalty coming to Slovakia. A two-man advantage coming for 30 seconds.
Sometimes you got to make the call. Fantilli catches it in a tight spot where he can't one-time it. And Panik just comes down over top trying to stop him from shooting it, but breaks his stick right in half. And what would have been a good chance taken away on the broken stick, and of course that is called right away. Fantilli using his body nicely to try to get a little room in front of Panik. And 30 seconds, 5-on-3, the first 5-on-3 that we've seen for Canada.
Yep.
You know, you would have worked on this occasionally. You have two defensemen out there, which is unusual, but both can really shoot it.
Canada spent some time at practice the other day on 4-on-3 power plays, which you might see in overtime.
Right. I'm thinking about what would you prioritize? Probably 4-on-3s would happen more often because of overtime. Glass for the face-off. Lawton goes after it. And here's to Foley. Fairmont steps into him, and Cody Glass has it back. Lawton. Back to Hunt. Cross to Uyghur. Mackenzie Uyghur. Down to Foley. Back to Uyghur. Uyghur to Foley. Sends it Glass with a chance. Left behind the save. Loose puck in front. To Foley back on it. Uyghur sends it across. Hunt unloads at the side of the goal. Seconds to go with the first Slovak penalty. Here's Hunt. As Olakar steps on. Glass keeps it alive for Canada. Back to Foley. Back he goes to Hunt. Slaps it back across. Lawton with a quick chance. Levi to save on him. And sent into the Slovak bench. And the faceoff will stay in the Slovak zone. Good killing by Slovakia. Off the initial faceoff, they really pressed hard, killing about 10-15 seconds. They finally get the puck down to the front of the net. Cody Glass is right there. That's the play you want. You draw them up, you go down to the goal line, have a shot, then you get back up top. And Brad Hunt tees off on a one-timer. Glass has just got to find a hole. There's holes in between the legs, holes over the glove, just not able to find it. And then the big one-timer just misses. Still plenty of time left. Hunt stays out there now. It's Krause, Krebs, Carconi, and Quinn, the forwards for Canada. You know, personnel decisions are always interesting. They're trying to find out who works where. But Scott Lawton, you know, net front presence, you don't think of him off the side of the net on a 5-on-3, but they put Glass in there for the right shot. Krebs with a face-off back to Quinn. To Hunt, Carconi, in for Krause. And Carconi was that battle for the puck. Across to Quinn. Quinn centers it. Krause mistimed the one-timer. And now it's bumped up by William Chaho. Slides that back down to the Canadian zone. Montembeault. Past the forechecker to Krause. And Krebs with a head of steam, and it's broken up and sent back down by Mihaly Van. 45 seconds to go in this long Canadian power play. Hunt for Krebs. Krause goes to Quinn. Jack Quinn. Back across to Krebs. The Buffalo Sabres going to work there on the Canadian power players. Krebs back with it. Hunt sends that rink wide. Carconi picks it up, bouncing puck. And it's moved back out of chest now for Regenda, but Regenda needs a change. Just moves the puck at the Slovak bench. In comes Nemec, shorthanded, shoots. It goes off a stick. Up and on a play. 10 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. Good killing by Slovakia. Really pressuring up ice, being active and aggressive. Not going to sit back and let Canada come into the zone and set up. Craig Ramsey, tremendous defensive NHL player. Not surprised that his team would be good at that. And a wasted opportunity for Canada. You think about power plays, 5-on-3s. Not going to get that many looks throughout a game. Here's Joseph with it. Slides it back across to Myers. Myers tees it up and shoots. He powdered that wide. Fantilli with a chance and bounces back in front. Panik steps out. Moved across, Jake Neighbors. Walks right in, Neighbors shoots, scores! Jake Neighbors opens the scoring for Canada. Jake Neighbors, who has slowly played himself back into the lineup, back up the lineup with his good play, opens the scoring. Slovakia gets way too overcommitted. Look at all the bodies on one side of the ice. 4 guys sitting on the boards. All it takes is one play to the middle, and Neighbors in on a 2-on-0. He could pass this if he wanted to, but elects not to. Cheeky little shove and go 5-hole. Great look at it here. Cell shot, push it a little bit, and then wheel it. Oh, yes. Not a big gap there, but enough for Neighbors to hit it. And Canada on an even strength goal after all that power play time. What was the scoring?
Neighbors, his first goal for a Canadian national team. He's a member of the 2022 Canadian junior team that played at Christmas in the World Junior Championship that had to be postponed. But those 2 games for the summer tournament, he was not available. He was injured, so he didn't play on the gold medal winning team in Edmonton. Bouncy puck, sorry, the goal, cut by Montembeault. Oh, what a save there on Matthew Shekel. Shekel stepped into that, but Montembeault makes the stop. 1-0 Canada leads here in the first. It has been a loud afternoon here in Riga. It's going to get noisier tonight when the home team, Latvia, takes on Czechia. And the Latvians are in an early 0-2 hole in this tournament.
That will be raucous.
Because there's a lot of Czechs in town, too.
Yeah, a lot of Slovakian fans here as well.
I would say the Czechs and Slovaks probably have the 2 largest fan gatherings. Switzerland not far behind. Nemitz plays that back in. Gudacek. As that pass picked up by Lawton, ahead he goes to Quinn. Jack Quinn. 8th overall pick for the Buffalo Sabres a couple of years ago. That shot by Middleton rattles wide. Gudacek. Up ahead for Patrick Cook. And Lawton drives it back. Middleton to Weegar. Mackenzie Weegar trying to lift that head. Shuko broke that up. A chance now for Hudacek. Here comes Hudacek, tees it up and shoots. Montembeault the save. Nemitz in for Regenda. He rips it that wide. Pablo Regenda of the Anaheim Ducks just missed there.
Canada's going to be mindful of trying to force the puck D to D, leading the rush in the neutral zone. If you turn it over, not a ton of support in behind.
Romiak across to Nemitz. Bouncing puck on the slot goes back to Lawson Krause. Career high 24 goals this year, his 2nd straight 20-goal year for Arizona. A player acquired by the Coyotes. He was the sweetener to take the Dave Bolin contract off the Florida Panthers' hands.
If you have room, use it.
That's what they've done.
And Lawson Krause has turned into a cornerstone piece of that team right now.
Romiak swings back. Up ahead for Rivik. Spent some time with the Rangers in Calgary in the NHL. They've met at Rivik. Also a part of the silver medal winning team in Beijing. With Nemitz arriving, Slovakia got 8 guys from that team. Kellerman, he falls. Rivik picks it back up. Drops it back. Was indeed shoots. Montembeault the save. Was indeed scored in the opening game against Czechia. They got kicked out for a 5-minute kneeing major. Kellerman chips that back in. Middleton goes after it, but the play is called offside at the Canadian line.
And Hudacek, the latest flair to challenge Montembeau and a slapper. Sukol had one earlier. He's almost a face-off by the time he hits this. And Montembeau just stays square, stares him down. And we've stayed 1-0 Canada.
9:43 to go in the first. And a goal by Jake Neighbors, the 21-year-old from Airdrie, Alberta, just north of Calgary. Livingston took a high stick there. Valeno for Krebs. Check that, that's Semi Blais. And Blais goes back into Ocular. Uyghur bounce that back to Joe Valeno, and now Middleton. Up the ladder to Uyghur jumping in. He fires it back down the Slovak zone. Milan Lucic around for Blais. And Valeno got crunched along the boards by Ocular. Chaho moves it back to center ice. And Joseph back ahead for Lucic. Lucic rattles that back in. We've talked about before, but at the age of 34, Milan Lucic is soaking up every minute of his first time with the Canadian national team. Joseph a shot, and Milan makes the save.
You can tell that Coach Andre Tournier trusts that line. Starts him in the game, out of breaks.
Lawton walks it and shoots, and Lamai knocks that away. It's off the glass, another black.
Slovakia still trying to find their feet after this Jake Neighbor goal. That is a cheeky little fake. And now if it doesn't work, you feel almost foolish, like I just rolled it into his pad. But when it does, it looks brilliant.
Scored 6 goals in 43 games with the St. Louis Blues this year. Also played for Springfield, the American League. Had 9 goals in 23 games there. He was a first-round pick of St. Louis in 2020.
Well, St. Louis is going to be turning it over as they go forward.
Yeah, well, they've already,
they've already started. Some of the guys that they're building around Robert Thomas and Jake Neighbors, George Cairo, of course. To get the experience for him in this tournament around all these different players will only help him next year.
Lawton with another face-off to Foley with a shot. Levi makes the save. Bobbles that puck. Pointed by Hudacek again. Walks in. Montembeau down. He's going to shot away. As Toffoli on the back check broke that up. Justin Barron. Lost the puck in the corner. Cehlarik with it. And Barron steps into him. Hudacek. Back at the point for Colton. And now Cehlarik back with it. For Nemitz. Back to Cehlarik. Suka. Plays it back around his goal. With it goes off a skate. Right to Hudacek. Tees it up and shoots. It goes wide. And Hunt runs him around the glass and back down the ice.
Hudacek right away. He wants to know why was that not a penalty on Tyler Toffoli. Talking to Andre Schrader. So here's the problem for Justin Barron. He's on his wrong side. So he's not as comfortable fielding pucks off the boards. And Hudacek tries to pull it all the way across. Tyler Toffoli has the line, keeps working all the way through. Watch what happens with the sticks. That is a hook in the hands that Canada avoided. Absolutely, Hudacek has a good point. That's been called all tournament long, that same play.
Here's Barron with it, off the icing. Toffoli chops it down, it'll be icing again. The faceoff comes right back down to the Canadian zone.
Hudacek's had a couple good looks. He had the one counter on the slapper. He had that last rush. It's a can opener into the hands, flat out. And good work by Tyler Toffoli to get back there. But Ucek has a valid complaint.
The 7th World Championship for Slovakia, played for Trinec in the Czech League. They are the dynasty in that league. They won their 4th consecutive Czech Extra League Championship this year. And this is another icing by Canada. Toffoli's arguing.
He thought that German could have come and got that puck on the boards if he wanted to, and he elected to take a path towards the pile and not towards the puck.
Maybe go easy on the argument there. You just got away with one.
Yeah, there's only so much complaining you want to partake in when you probably should be down a man right now. And that's a smart play by German. Why take a path to the puck that's going to get me to the neutral zone when I can milk an icing out of it?
So this line's still out there after 3 consecutive icings.
Now, they've been standing around a lot. They're not chasing their own end. They should be pretty fresh for 20 seconds.
Hunt.
Move your feet here.
Lifted back to the Slovak blue line, and Canada starts to change to Foley, the only man who doesn't get off.
He's just out there to make sure they don't quick up. Now he'll change.
Rivik. Up at the Panik. Back goes Uyghur for it. Good play by Uyghur. Now Middleton. Rink wide. He goes for Krause. Lawson Krause working in. Drives to the net. Back in. Shot. Levi makes the save. Krebs. Back around for Krause. And now Uyghur back to pick it up. Cody Glass. First ever first-round pick of the Vegas Golden Knights, now playing for Nashville. Krebs, another former first-round pick of the Golden Knights. They're scattered all over the place.
They just need Nick Suzuki, and they can have a nice line.
Eric Brandstrom to play for Sweden. Not shy about doing the picks or the guys they pick with them. Fantilli races after it, drops that back for Myers. Tyler Myers off the sideboards. I think the linesman. This lets it back down to the Canadian zone as Joseph picks up the bouncing puck. Up ahead to Myers. Playing in his 3rd World Championship for Canada after an 11-year absence. Myers trying to center it there. And Romiak has it back. Lead pass to Fantilli with Carcone. Walks in and shoots. Levi makes the save. And Romiak clears the rebound away.
Quick strike on a bad change.
Now Carcone centered it for Valeno. Levi's down. That pass was blocked by Michal Ivan. Now it's center ice. Puck is played with a high stick. And play is called. 5:46 to go here in the first period. Going to a game at the World Championship is not just a matter of get up and go. You got to get an outfit on. You got to get the makeup done. You got to. There's a lot into it.
They must have to pack a full leather suitcase just for the game gear. I mean, I got to set equipment to a game, which is great. Flags aplenty, hung all over the rink.
One of the great things, you know, when the Czechs played the Slovaks on Friday in the opener was, you know, the night before, seeing their fans in the old town. I mean, they're mingling and giving each other a hard time, but in a very friendly, kind of jovial way. Even at the beer tent and the beer stands here in the building, chanting at each other. Holding call coming now. And it's going to go against Milan Lucic, who doesn't like that call.
Come on, he says. He gets caught on the wrong side of the pile. And stick wrapped around Janicic. And yeah, that's a hold. Canada has been fortunate on the power play front a little bit in this first period already, so we'll have to kill now.
He was in the penalty box for a goal against Latvia. Later scored in that game. The first Slovak power play was truncated when they took a penalty. Lasted only 59 seconds. Hudacek, back for Nemec. That puck leaves the zone. The one thing the Slovaks are lacking this year that they've had in past years, including the Olympics when they had Slavkovsky, in most of their good years in these tournaments, they have a one-touch score. Thomas Tatar, that puck goes into the bench. In past years, Marian Hossa, Peter Bondra,
Gabrick, any of those guys that don't need a ton of chances to do stuff on their own. Now it's a volume effort. You're Craig Ramsey before the game. No, we got to simplify pucks on net, look for rebounds through traffic, which is a good philosophy for most players, but it's always nice to have a guy that you can count on to make something out of nothing or to score on a shot that most guys can't score on.
They have been renowned for having a high number of high-end goal scorers over the years, given the country's size.
Peter Bondra to Zygmunt Polfi and on up. They've had a ton of really good players. Like Pavel Dimitra amongst them.
Hossa, Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time right now getting anything going as... Whoa, is it time to wake up?
Get the stinky juice out.
Mid-game. Wow. I'd expect Hudacek to be buzzing this shift. That is essentially ammonia, and it smells awful. It does wake you up and clear out the sinuses or something, but you don't see it often mid-shift. Sometimes before the game, but usually once is enough.
Yeah, I should try that.
No, you should not. No, it is not. We don't need that.
Nemec up for Cehlarik, backhands that wide of the goal. Panik goes after Uyghur, but the puck picked up by Veleno, away with McBain. In comes Jack McBain.
We had Veleno on a step. He could have handled it clean.
Nemec ranged away from him. Look at Nemec just glide out. Cehlarik plays it back. Hudacek. Plays it ahead for Rivik. Back he goes. Cehlarik kicks that pass from Hudacek. Nemec puts it back across the Rivik. Down to Brigenda. He forced there by Middleton. Now the captain, Rivik. Slides that back to Nemec. Across he goes. Hudacek's shot was blocked. Rebound, he put it wide. Middleton blocked that shot. Took a butt out of his left foot. Brigenda back with it. It's poked away by Joseph. Middleton back on it. Joseph slides that to Veleno. There's that "we want a goal" chant again. Hudacek plays it across, plays it back in front, they score! Cehlarik with a feed from Rivik. A power play goal ties the game in one.
Nice cross-ice passing. Hudacek, Rivik ends up on Cehlarek's stick. Canada's a little bit tired out there. Jack McBain gets beat to the puck in the corner, and now this pass sets it up, and Jake Middleton can't get his stick as he gets kind of tangled up in his pivot. He's tired. He doesn't really appreciate who's coming back door. He should be able to turn his stick and protect him, and Rivik rips it right through, and an easy finish for Cehlarik. Excellent passing by Slovakia to even the score.
Cehlarik spent 4 years in the Boston organization, played 40 NHL games for them. As his first in this World Championship, he's playing in his third. Also a veteran of that bronze medal win in Beijing in 2022. Hunt for Lott. In comes Lott. Drops that off to Quinn. Jack Quinn gets tied up. Left that back for Lott, and he falls. And Lantoshi comes away for Slovakia. Lantoshi spins back. Plays it back down. And moved away by Bear. Knocked down by Quinn. Slides that back down to the Slovak zone. Quinn's getting right through Germont.
Quinn's got a little chippiness to him. Has a lot to say after every engagement.
against the Slovaks. One of the things that players talk about when they come to this tournament is the atmosphere. I mean, you've talked about it. Normally when you're on the ice, you don't hear a lot of what goes on, but here it's possible to ignore it.
The bench would be shaking due to the jumping, the singing, the drums, all of it. And that entire goal by Slovakia was born out of the fatigue of the killers for Canada. Those were passing lanes that should be taken away, but weren't. Guys were just tired.
Neighbors with it. He has the Canadian goal. Jake Neighbors slides that back to Uyghur. Shoots through traffic. That skipped right off the skip of Fantilli. Neighbors has it back. Banks it back. Uyghur dances around Romiak. Plays it back down to Fantilli. Adam Fantilli looks down to Neighbors, who kicks that free. Fantilli's got it back. Two Canadians down below the goal line, and Fantilli stays in that battle. Carcone joins him. And now Middleton wraps it back around Uyghur. Mackenzie Uyghur drops it back. Carcone for Middleton. Fantilli goes after it. Neighbors as well. Middleton knocked down that clearing attempt. Plays it across Uyghur, centers it. Fantilli gets a shot away. That goes wide. And Fantilli crashes into Kanashko. Regenda spins that back, picked off by Fantilli. Cook up ahead to Cehlarik, the Slovak goal scorer. And Mihaly Van works in. Kudacek drops that back. Cook with a shot, goes off a leg and wide. And Suko races back to pick it up. Joseph up ahead to Krebs. Peyton Krebs back on it. Around for Krause. The pass too far for him. Myers down to Krause. He got filled in by Cook, and a penalty coming up to Slovakia. Joseph down to Krebs. The extra skater comes on for Canada. It's Lawton. And finally touched up by the Slovaks. Kudacek trying to sell a cross-check there.
He did. Oh my goodness. They're going to give one to Peyton Krebs as well. This is, golly. Look at Hudacek. Somebody give him an Academy Award right now. Like, I guess you do what you got to do. He sells it. Looks like his ribs are hurting. All the Canadian players are talking to him on the way off the ice because they're irritated that he's he's entirely fine. Now, Croce goes in there for a hit from behind on Lawson Krause earlier. Not a penalty that would always be called in the NHL.
No one's happy about this.
Well,
penalty for boarding. Canada, number 19, penalty for cross-checking.
so the boarding penalty is one that is called internationally. They're a little bit more protective of players, even though clearly Krause is turning as he's getting hit. And it's an awkward-looking penalty, but that would not be a call in the NHL. That's often a call here. So that's a shove. That's not even a cross-check. But what Canada needs to learn, they've done it twice now. Jack Quinn yesterday, Peyton Krebs today. When you have a power play, anything extra, anything little will be called and evened up. And now you've cost yourself another opportunity to go on the power play late in the period.
4-on-4. Lawton off a face-off, had that skipped away. Here's Nemitz with it. Rosadic lifts that back to center. Joseph up for Lawton. That pass missed. Nemitz comes back the other way. Up for Panik. Panik has it taken away by Lawton. He had his pocket picked by Panik. Rivik. Rosadic back across to Nemitz. 30 seconds to go in the period. Simon Nemitz shoots. Quantible. Pad save. Rivik back on and put it wide. Two good chances there for Slovakia. At the line, Rivik can't hold it. Nemitz slides that back. And time winds down here in the opening period. Rosadic lifts that ahead. That goes between the benches with 0.8 seconds left here in the period.
I mean, you look at the shots right now are 13-5, although Slovakia has sort of worked themselves back into the game. Lots of those shots early. A nice tip by Hrivik. on a point shot. There's some confusion up top. Good look at it here. He pulls it back and down. Montembeau a little fortunate that it catches a pad. Slovakia sort of worked themselves back into this period as it has gone along. They are down that 5-on-3 sequence early to Canada. Canada scored right after it had expired.
The officials huddling here.
They want to see if the puck should be a face-off inside the zone or outside the zone.
Puck went between the benches. They're missing the one thing they need for this face-off.
It's going to be a face-off. There's only 0.8 left on the clock, so it's not a...
No one's got a puck.
You can pull Montembeau,
Now they get one.
as it will not be able to get down the ice in that little amount of time. But the 0.8, I don't... Well, was it Tyler Toffoli spoke with the Kings in the 0.8 second in Boston?
Yeah, that was like 0.7.
Here he is,
Yeah.
same spot.
Oh!
Oh! That's as quick as it could go.
So an entertaining opening period comes to an end. Neighbors scores for Canada. Cehlarik for Slovakia on the power play. A wide-edged shot for Canada. But it's a 1-1 tie after 20 minutes.
In the conference, the score between Finland and Sweden 0-0.
Ome do piče, ome. Bravo, Ši. Cehlarik.
Okay, guys, may the force be with you.
Good hit, boys. Skate, boys. Good, good, good. Loose, loose. Hands off, hands off, hands off. Sticks down. Move it out, boys. No whistle, no whistle. Good, good, good. Good, move, move. Good, good.
in the box on the offsetting minor penalties with Patrick Koch. He got called for cross-checking Libor Hudacek near the end of the first period. Hudacek went to the bench for the smelling salts, for the ammonia.
Yeah.
Got an assist on the goal moments after that, and then sold the cross-checking penalty.
He drew the ire of the Canadian. There's a lot of chatter. At the end of the period, the players don't walk off behind their benches. They got to go down to the corners and sort of cross over each other. And there was a lot of conversation between both teams about calls and dives and the rest.
Montembeault allows 1 goal and just 5 shots. Levi's making his senior men's national team debut after playing in 3 World Juniors for Slovakia.
Boys, let's go. We good. Okay, boys, I need a float stop. We got white first. If we got second one.
Got it done. Here's Rivik up to Panik as they begin the second period, 4-on-4. Picked up now by Lawton, along with Quinn. Lead pass to Jack Quinn. He and Simone Nemetz collide. As Tyler Myers got his back up. Battles it behind the goal, and here's Nemetz back on it. Nemetz, one of the terrific young Slovak players we talked about. The 3 first-round picks, Yuri Slavkovsky, Nemetz, and Filip Mešar. And don't forget, too, that Slovakia has perhaps the brightest young star in women's hockey.
Yes.
Nela Lapusanova just turned 15.
My new favorite player. She is dynamite.
Scored the lacrosse goal in the women's under-18s in January as a 14-year-old, the first lacrosse-style goal in women's hockey.
Walking YouTube highlight reel. Game played, no matter what. Look out. Did something just hit Jake Middleton in the head?
I think it did.
I'll wake you up. Slovakia feels good about that first period. Only generated 5 shots, but really after the first flurry on the power play, Craig Ramsey's team was able to push back and even the period for the most part. Had a couple good looks, gave up a couple good looks. Pretty even period, which I think at this point Slovakia would take. That was the second period of the last game where Canada really poured it on Slovenia.
Right. Glass with it. Canada back in action against Kazakhstan on Wednesday as Krebs threads that pass to Kraus. He steamrolled Matusukal. And German has it back. Rink wide pass to Tanashko in the back. And Solaric turns it over in center ice to Glass, who fires it right back down to the Slovak zone. Worked free by Krebs to Glass. Pokes that around to Ethan Bear, who jumps up. Bear down to Glass. That pass is picked up by Hudacek, who comes winding up. Ethan Bear just skated by and lifted his stick. That comes Valeno the other way. Valeno trying to find Krebs with that pass. Kanashko broke that up. And Regenda has it back for Slovakia to Hudacek. Kanashko winds in, drops it back. Sukal drops it back. Hudacek on the shot. Bad save made by Montembeault. A penalty coming to Canada for a high stick.
Montembeault's made some nice saves in this game. The parade to the penalty box for Canada continues. Valeno on the high stick. Oh yeah, puts it right up at Kanachiko's face. Almost lucky it's not more than just the 2. You know, Valeno goes down at one end, has a chance to shoot, doesn't. Strung out, nothing happens, comes back the other way. Canada just not quite as sharp as they would want to be right now.
U.S. a 1-0 lead on Germany with an early second period goal. U.S. took down Finland in its opener. That shooting goes off the glass.
Slovakia got their goal on the power play. Solaric tucked one in back door. Different unit out there on this one. Formiak, the trigger man, number 8.
He's got it now. Back for Kanashko. Okular threw that towards the goal. And Montembeault to be quick on that.
Formiak just got hit by Lawton on a high stick. It was a follow-through. Obviously no penalty. You know the rules. Formiak can stop complaining and not cause an offside.
That was the topic of discussion last night in the NHL.
Yes. But you know that. Lawton's shooting the puck down the ice.
A follow through to pass for a shot. It's not high stick. Now it used to be the IIHF. It actually used to be in the IIHF before they merged the rule
Right,
books.
but it hasn't been for a few years now.
No.
And so while it hurts and you're not happy about it, complaining about the ref and then not skating back into the play to cause an offside does nobody any good. And so the fan favorite right in front of the Canadian bench, Libor Hudacek, takes his spot.
Takes his medicine. Face off, not done fairly.
It's amazing how often you see the puck stand there. There's Hudacek. And he's just trolling right in front of it. And then bring it on, boys. Not a problem.
Played the World Junior in 2010 for Slovakia, the tournament in Saskatoon. Nemitz drops it back to Rivik, who set up that first Slovak power play goal. Hudacek winds in, finds some room, shoots. Montembeault makes the save. He may not be popular, but he's been dangerous.
Well,
Hudacek.
that's it, right? He's backing it up with his play.
Nemitz winds his way out.
Another one. He's dancing Uyghur in alone.
And Uyghur back with it, short-handed. 50 seconds to go in this Slovak power play. Uyghur just shoved down Cehlarik. And Rivik has it back now for Slovakia, along with Cehlarik. Panik jumping in, Richard Panik. Got up along the boards, down to Hudacek. Panik back with it. To Hudacek. Slaps that rig wide, Rivik. Back to Nemitz. To Hudacek. Sends it back in front. Montembeault, the save on the tip by Cehlarik. Nemitz, great keep there, back for Hudacek. Winds in, holds, Hudacek. Sends it back in front. Rebound. Oh, what a stop by Montembeault. Right at the side of that, Montembeault lunging for it. Wow. 3 good chances there for Slovakia on the power play, which is now winding down. Lead pass, Robiak shoots. Montembeault the save, and Fantilli gathers up the rebound.
Yeah, 2-on-1 to 3-on-1 if he can get it.
Carconi gathers it back up. He's got Valeno with him for the trailer. Bear shoots off the crossbar. It goes up and out of play. Ethan Bear can't believe he missed. He's not the only one.
Chances galore. Here's the 2-on-1 break. Bear beats Lavai, but not the bar. But that was after this sequence. Tyler Toffoli didn't get the puck out. Now Libor Hudacek slot pass. There's a fan clear right there. You got to find that one. Canada's running around and Hudacek just dancing. Finds back door and just on the outside of the point for Richard Panik. That's it. Get rid of that stick. Not working. It's not me. It's my sticks. I need a new one.
Gotta be the hammer, not the guy holding it. Regenda. There's a back ahead, and Tamashi sent flying by Myers. That's going to be a penalty to Tyler Myers.
Why? What's the call? I'm curious.
Boarding, I think.
Why? You're not allowed to hit somebody 8 feet away from the boards? Like, that actually hurts. I'm not suggesting for a second Tamashi's not down and feel like that is dangerous and awkward and painful. He's shooting the puck. And Tyler Myers just bumps into him. Yes, he's on 1 foot. Yes, it's awkward. But I'm just curious, what rule did he violate?
The officials huddling here. I would bet they call this 5 and then review it.
Oh, cross-check. They'll give him a cross-check for a 5. Okay. Yeah, he falls through with the stick. I thought he got with more of the body, but that's a push with the stick. That could be a 5 for a cross-check. Yeah.
Canada player 57, penalties under review.
So they've called a 5. They're going to review it.
But they didn't tell us what.
No.
Yeah, they didn't say it's
boarding, cross-checking.
Whatever it might be. Now, I watched that replay. I thought he hit him with his shoulders. That's a cross. You can call that a cross-check in a dangerous spot? Absolutely. The extension of the hands. Tyler Myers is so tall. His cross-check hit you in the shoulders, not around the chest. Yep. Now, I don't know. If the 5 would be for the dangerous outcome, not for the dangerous. That cross-check is a cross-check, but it's not 5 worthy if Tamashi doesn't go crashing in the boards. But he did, and that does matter here. I'm not surprising one bit if this sticks. Tamashi looks like he's okay, working things through. That is a heavy collision for him, for sure. No denying that.
So the referees, Jan Rybak from Czechia, Andre Schrader from Germany, having a look in conjunction with the video review room.
This game would be irritating to the Canadian players the way it's being officiated, but you can't let it impact the way you play.
And here's the call from Rybak.
After video review, Team Canada player number 57, 2 minutes penalty for cross-check.
I mean, that's absolutely the correct call. They got there in the end. And you never know when they go to 5 if they decide to keep it. So Canada, the parade to the penalty box.
Right.
This is their second of this period. They had 3 in the first period. 1 was coincidental. Power play was buzzing for Slovakia last time.
Hudacek back for Nemec, shoots in a leg, and Hudacek holds the line, slides that down to Paddock. Trying to center it, that pass was blocked by Uyghur. The penalty kill is getting a workout here in the second period for Canada. As it's picked up by Kraus, across he goes to Lot. Hudacek slides that back to Salarik, who has the Slovak goal on the power play.
All these penalties, like tire killers, but you lose your bench.
Right.
And you only have 6 forwards playing. 7 guys are sitting there.
Paddock, hammered there by Uyghur. Salarik, almost the puck, and it comes back to center ice. Nemec with it. Simon Nemec has played in the World Junior, the Olympics, the World Championship already as an 18-year-old, just turned 19. Rybak plays it back to Hudacek. Hudacek back for Nemec, feeds it across, and the hard shot taken there by Rybak is gloved by Montembeault.
Good entry by Slovakia. They were all stationary, but they managed to get the puck in zone. Rybak gets a clean one-timer. Now, Middleton's supposed to take the far side of the net away. Montembeault's supposed to protect the short side. You get a better look at it here. Exactly what he does. Montembeault there to flag that one. Rybak wants to put it right under the bar, not mid-net. And another good save for Emil Montembeault.
Picked up on waivers from the Florida Panthers by Montreal in October of 2021.
One of the really positive stories out of Montreal this year. It was a tough season, so many injuries, but Montembeault's development was about as good as it got for Montreal this season.
And obviously in Florida, the goaltending situation pretty packed with Bobrovsky, Spencer Knight, a first-round pick. Montembeault was a member of Team Canada in the 2016 World Junior Championship, didn't get in the game. Regenda. And it poked away by Barron and sent down the ice by Toffoli. Neighbors out there in the penalty kill as well. Final seconds now of this power play. Kanashko. This has not been nearly as dangerous as the first, or the last one rather. Krebs racing to it as Myers steps back on. Connor Myers a forward here right now.
Big swinging right winger there. Hard to miss him.
Krebs wins that battle for the puck, throws it back in the slot. And Sukal tapped that away. Now stolen back by Glass. Down to Krebs.
That's not a penalty either. It's not just Canada. That's Janishik going down. So this is just one of those games. Tight calls, get used to it.
1-1 the score here in the second.
Team Slovakia, number 3, minor penalty for cross-checking.
Janishik has been called for a cross-check, so Canada goes to the power play here.
And you have to figure it out on the fly. Adjust as you go, because any sort of use of the stick on a cross-checking motion looks like it's going to draw a penalty if somebody falls down.
Quinn plays it back to Winger for Fantilli with a shot. Counts back at the goal line. What the drive. Levi makes the save on that. What a start to this power play. Winger back across to Toffoli. To Winger. Toffoli winds and fires. Levi the save on that. Brought in by Quinn. Jack Quinn. Rattles it back around. Toffoli waiting for it. Quinn. Back for Lawton. Held by Fantilli. Feeds it across to Foley. Waits. Fantilli shoots. He rocketed that high.
It's the one he wanted, right in the slot.
Quinn. Spins away from Rosendic and plays that back to Toffoli. Tyler Toffoli. Works back in. Being watched there closely by Kellerman. Played back to Uyghur. Mackenzie Uyghur. Back for Fantilli. To Uyghur. Here's Toffoli, waits, shoots, that tip just wide. Fantilli back on it, but Kellerman sends it down. And that puck goes over. Yep, that's going to be, they're double checking, but that's going to be a live game penalty on Slovakia. So a two-man advantage for 51 seconds coming for Canada.
Slovakia, number 21, minor penalty for delaying the game.
What a swing here for Canada. Alex Tanky grabs the board. Anybody around? Well, that's a tight angle. It's even hard to imagine being able to do that. He was being tangled up with Fantilli, but almost gets Janishik, if there's any doubt where it ended up. Canada's got to take a timeout.
Yeah, so second two-man advantage of the game for the Canadians, who had one early in the first.
And if Alex Tanguay put himself out there, the power play would be really good. As one of the great passers of the last 15-20 years. Diagramming the 5-on-3 power play is his responsibility. Assistant coach in Detroit. Part of this is getting the guys a breather too. It's been a frenetic 8 minutes of this period. A lot going on. Emotions are high. Just catch your breath.
Well, with all the special teams play now, I mean, Milan Lucic has been parked on the bench for the better part of 10 minutes.
Well, you see him out under whistle skating around trying to get the legs moving because he's tight. Now again, we go with the two defensemen. Hunt can really shoot it, we know. Face-offs pivotal to maximize the 51 seconds available. Lawton's got to dig in here on Sukel.
Lawton's been Canada's best so far in the tournament, around 75%. Scramble draw goes off the linesman. Held by Uyghur. Moved up by Suko.
It's unfortunate that Canada's stick got in there to poke it back to Uyghur, but it hit the linesman.
Brad Hunt drops it off to Scott Lawton. Native of Oakville, Ontario. Feeds it there for Toffoli. Back to Uyghur, across to Hunt. In comes Hunt, down to Lawton. Lawton centers it, goes off a skate. Uyghur racing to it, holds the line. 20 seconds to go in the first Slovak penalty. Toffoli walks right in, shoots, fired that wide, and Hunt can't hold the line.
It's a bad shot. It's a bad shot to miss the net on. You're going to give it clear to the penalty killers.
Uyghur winds in, plays that deep. German goes after it. Goes the long way around, held by Hunt. Rolling puck down to Lawton. Scott Lawton feeds it back across to Foley, holds and shoots, that one wide. Janishik back on. Canada still on the power play for 1 minute and 5, and Janishik sends it down. On to Bo. Around to Hunt, who left it there. Rado's the first man there for Slovakia. Jack Quinn works in, along with Krause. Krause banks that back to Pierre-Louis Joseph. A hard shot there by Hunt was blocked by Solara. Carcone. Picked up by Hunt. Ringwine goes for Joseph in the middle for Quinn. Walks in, plays it across. Carcone drops it back. Hunt has a look. Trying to thread that pass through. Is blocked by Panik. Back it goes to Carcone. To Hunt, long wrist shot, tipped just wide by Krause. And a whistle down the ice by Gaidos. 10 seconds to go on the Canadian power play. In Tampere, Germany and the U.S. tied at 1 in the second period. Carconi back across to Joseph. Eli's players back on the ice. Myers' shot was blocked. On comes Fantilli. Myers can't hold the line for Canada. Back it goes to Joseph. And Fantilli fires it back down to the Slovak zone. Nemitz banks it around. Neighbors racing to it. Holds and feeds it deep for Fantilli. Fantilli works that loose in the corner. Rolled off his stick. McBean comes in on the forecheck. Myers pokes at it for Fantilli. That was broken up by Rosendich. In comes Chaho. Chaho shoots and Montembeault gloves that. And a late push there by Milos Kellerman. And there's at least one penalty coming out of this. I think the initial call is going against Kellerman.
The ref pointing at Nemitz, I think, in the nets.
9:21 to go here in the second. Lots of chances at both ends. There's no power play coming after that sequence in front of the Canadian goal. Both benches got a stern warning from the officials during the TV timeout.
We're grown men here. The stern talking to is, you know, 12-year-olds.
It's never worked on me, but
well, not when I was a kid. It's certainly not now. Either I give you a penalty or leave me alone. The don't do that again stuff is a little much.
To Valeno, back out there with Blais. So these guys get some time. Valeno does kill penalties. Sammy Blais down to Milan Lucic. Shields off Kanashko. Banks that back. Middleton for Weegar. Mackenzie Weegar. Gets it across. Middleton shoots. That was blocked by Kanashko. Montoshi plays it up. Here's Kanashko with it. Now this has basically been 12 guys playing for each team for the last 10 minutes. Woo. In comes Valeno. First man there for Canada. Joe Valeno. That's spun around in the corner. And now Ethan Bear holds it. Back for Hunt. Blais drops it back for Bear. Shoots. And Levi makes the save on that. Hunt. Back across to Bear. Ethan Bear. Looks in for Lawton. Scott Lawton with a shot. That was blocked again by Kanashko. That's 2 on this shift for him. Lawton drops it back. Quinn with a drive. And Levi makes the save.
Good response shift for Canada. On the cycle, below the goal line, working through a line change, winning puck battles, possession, and then getting it down to the front of the net. And that's how Canada will be able to wear Slovakia out if they're able to. And lots of shot blocks and defensive work by Slovakia to keep Canada the perimeter. But that's more how Andre Tourigny would like his team to play.
Quinn, player for the Ottawa 67s for Andre Tourigny, and also played for him at the World Junior Championship in 2021 in Edmonton. A dynamic scorer for the Ottawa 67s, and the American League Rookie of the Year a year ago for the Rochester Americans. In comes Toffoli. Banks that around. Germán pokes it in the corner. Quinn hardly forecheck. Moved out by Panik. Kellerman. Now he's in. Lawton got a stick on it. 7.5 to go here in the period. Carcone leaves. Knocks that down. He's away with Quinn. In comes Quinn. Listen in for Carcone. A backhand shot. Oh, and a save by Halai. And Carcone throws it back in front. Terrific sprawling save there by Samuel Halai. An icing called against the Slovak.
It's quick developing Carcone, who's a real knack for goal scoring. Takes the fly ball that German drops. Quinn feathers it over to him. He tries to wait him out in the backhand, but Levi gets out and across. Not just across. And it's a double push. He's down on his knees and is able to get up, recalibrate, and get over again. Look at the edge work. Down once, down twice. And then meets him at the spot with his pad to turn Carcone aside.
Mario German played the Western Hockey League for Red Deer and Kootenay.
German wanted off, give up a break.
There's a chance, but Bain for Carcone, and a stop made again by Levi.
That's all. German's trying to go off, thinking his team has it. He's trying to sprint to the bench. They turn it over right here, and a quick up, and it's a quick little 2-on-1. Carcone doesn't quite do what he wants with that. He knows he has to get rid of it quickly. German on the back check, unable to find a corner on Levi, who has been good in this game.
Levi, never drafted, plays in the Slovak Extra League for Slovan Bratislava, which used to be in the KHL once upon a time. Now Cehlarik picks off that pass from Uyghur. Cehlarik moves in as Middleton defends and rides him off the puck. Uyghur up for Glass, and Krause picks it back up. That goes off Sukel right to Glass. Looks ahead for Krebs. Peyton Krebs holds, sends that rink wide for Middleton. The pass missed him, and Uyghur retreats to pick it up. Krebs flattened there by Janacek, and Nemitz goes back for it. I'm assuming Nemitz will sleep well tonight.
One way to work through the jet lag.
In comes Bear with a shot. And Nemitz in the back. Bear plays it back across. Hunt winds and shoots. Levi to save. The rebound bounced away from Krause. Hunt back for Bear. Shoots with the traffic. Levi makes the stop with Glass standing right in front of him. And now Krause takes a bot. Krebs is in there.
They didn't want to elude a check over there with Krebs. And Sukel offering jabs. And they didn't take a penalty last time they had a big skirmish.
They're taking at least one here.
You take one, it stops. You take two, it keeps going. Now you have to take two. Everyone is.
Right.
There's no team that is more warranting a penalty in that sequence than the other.
Krause will go along with Janacek.
And look at Nemitz, a nice hold of the stick in front. And after that, it's jabs aplenty for everybody. You as well. You over there is too. Oh, what's that? You guys got to stop. And over there too. Yep. Everybody.
You and you and you and you and you.
And after all that, it comes out with just two.
You two. All right, so 4-on-4 with 6:14 to go here in the second period.
There's always one or two games like this per tournament where, you know, it just gets chippy. No team is happy with the penalties. There seems like there's too many, there's not enough. Why are you calling that? Why are you not calling this? And the team that can kind of block that out best usually wins. It's hard. I've been there. It's hard, but gotta try to just play.
And the complaint on that score isn't limited to games on this side of the ocean.
Oh, no. This is not a World Championship thing. That's...
I would say the standard, if you like it or not, is it's tight obviously here, but it's very consistent for the most part.
It is. I've been to this tournament, whatever, half a dozen times. This game feels a little tighter than normal.
Kamashi works it and shoots, was about high. Now Washko plays it in, and now here Olivier Joseph goes after it, plays it back to Myers. Here's Myers with it. Up to Fantilli. He finds Quinn. Quinn flips it back in, works in. Quinn still with it, drops it back to Bear. Ethan Bear walks right in, shoots, and Levi makes the glove save. 5:08 to go here in the second period. Still a 1-1 tie. Here late in the second period, a 1-1 tie between Slovakia and Canada. Canada opened the scoring on a goal by Jake Neighbors. The Slovak struck back with a power play goal by Peter Cehlarik. And there's been lots of chances since then, and lots of irritation, if you want to call it that. Here's Panik with it. Ahead for Medic Rivet, but that pass from the wrong side of center ice is called icing.
One of the central figures for Slovakia has been Libor Hudacek. Early on, lots of chances for the diminutive, speedy forwards. Could have called there. In doubt, wake up a little bit more, then starts the three-way passing play and ends up with a goal. But he has been all over it on the power play at 5-on-5, selling calls. Adding to the irritation of Canada.
A stone in their shoe all evening or afternoon. Carconi put that high. Shots are 24-12 in favor of Canada. Here they come back in front, lifted high and wide by McBain. What a chance that was on the 4-on-4.
Brad Hunt effortlessly slides by guys all the time.
Carconi back with it. Threads it ahead to McBain.
Kind of defenseman forward should want to play with.
Here's Kalk with it. Middleton out to center ice to Blay. Waiting for help to arrive, flips it down to Valeno. He will go back to 5-on-5 quickly here. Quick chance for Canada as that's knocked away from Sammy Blay. 3:54 to go here in the period.
Another Canadian forward shaking their head. Beautiful pass and tons of space available for Jack McBain. Handles it relatively clean as backhand. Pops up, just kind of skips up on edge on him because there's lots of room blocker side if he's able to get a clean handle, and he's frustrated with himself. Rush set up by Brad Hunt, though.
Bigger's shot was blocked. Oh, Hudacek took him hard in front of the Canadian bench, and Rieger's down. And that was Hudacek. Who else? Initially, the referee did not have his arm up.
Oh, no, he responded right away. The back ref had it up right away.
Okay, so the ref up with the play did not.
No.
Rieger's still down.
Well, you're worried about him catching his face in the dasher.
Right. Now the officials are huddling again. So again, to recap this, and you see it now in the NHL, they can call a 5 and review it if they choose.
Hudacek cuts it back. They try to cut it back again.
So they've called a 5, and they're reviewing it.
Now Uyghur cuts back once. It looks like he's trying to cut back again. Hudacek thinks he's going to squeeze him off going into the offensive zone. He peels back, and now he hits him right from behind. I guess the onus is on the hitter to be more disciplined when he cuts back again. You can't fall through that hard. And he did almost clip his face, side of his face off the dasher, which is where the damage will be done to the cheekbone. See, if he's going forward, Hudacek's going to squeeze him off right there, and then he loses the puck and stops up again. Right in front of the Canadian bench, Hudacek right away knows he can't make that hit. And again, but that, I mean, that's going to be a 5, and I think they keep this a 5.
And the thing, Mike, that they look for is the extension of the arms. When you extend your arms to put a guy in.
Well, I mean, he's hitting him because he thinks he's going forward.
Yeah.
And then once he cut back, he just continued to hit him.
Right. So that arm extension is kind of a
this like driving with the arms through the body because he's trying, you know, he thinks he's worried about defending him.
Right.
And he knows he's less than 50-50 that he stays in this game.
Yeah. Slovaks had Mislav Rosandic kicked out for a 5-minute major in the opening game against Czechia.
The decision you really need to make was, you know, was it aggressive enough to warrant the 5? Could it have been avoided or mitigated? I think that part is a definite yes. And is the guy okay? I think that's what they look at.
Yeah.
I think Uyghur will be okay eventually. The question is, was it aggressive enough?
After video review, player number 79, major penalty and game conduct for boarding.
So Hudacek is out of the game for boarding. And in talking with IIHF officials, you know, a lot of what you talked about, and not necessarily the outcome is not as important in the IIHF.
Right.
And the level of injury is not necessarily as important as it would be, say, in the NHL. But one of the things they look for is the things like the extension of the arms, the intent to put a guy in. You know, as opposed to just bumping into a guy and knocking him into the boards, extending your arms at a cross check or a push. They're looking for.
He swings back and he's looking to hits, and he puts the, you know, his left hand right in the middle of the 5 and the 2, and tries to squeeze him in the boards as though he's hitting him. And yeah, I think he knew. He's having a great game. I mean, he's been as good as anybody for Slovakia. So another power play and a long one for Canada.
In comes Hunt, shoots, tipped by Glass off the goal post. Glass back on it. Glass trying to work that free. A 5-man scrum down low, the puck held by Hunt. Feeds it across to Carconi, able to hold the line and held it again. Carconi slides it across to Krebs. Shoots, tip puck in front of the line, makes the save, and another bouncing puck goes into the corner. Here's Hunt back with it. In for Krebs. Back to Hunt. Across to Carconi. Walks it and shoots. It goes off the leg of Mihaly Van. Kellerman can't clear it out. Glass throws that back of the slot. Racing back is Krebs, and he holds it. Krebs for Krause. He lost it, and Kellerman sends it down.
5 minutes, you got to change quick. Even if you want to hang out there, you got to roll through 4 different units on this power play. Or the same unit twice.
Hunt makes his way to the bench. On comes Uyghur. Fantilli out there on the Canadian power play. Uyghur with it, gains center ice and fires that down to the Slovaks. Oh, took a bad bounce, and Koch has to pick that up. Lead pass, finds Rivik shorthanded. Rivik winds and shoots. Montembeault makes the save and drops it down to Fantilli. That bad bounce almost turned into a great break for Slovakia. Panik with Rivik shorthanded. Panik works back in front. He lost it. And now Quinn has it back. 4-on-2 for Canada. Fantilli looks ahead. Koch broke that up. Fantilli gets it right back. Pokes it in the corner. Lucic out the power play. Plays it back to Uyghur. Back for Toffoli. Fantilli, a sharp angle shot. And Lucic tipped that wide.
The slap pass looking for sticks in front has been a theme for Canada, being read well by the sticks of Slovakia's defense.
Toffoli. Gathers it back up. Slides that down to Lucic. Looks back and forth for Toffoli. He batted that wide. Here's Fantilli back with it. Shields off Rivik. Plays it down to Uyghur. Uyghur to Fantilli. Walks in, shoots through the traffic. That's knocked away by Levi.
He's trying to hit tips. He's not trying to score there.
Uyghur back to Toffoli. To Uyghur. Uyghur. Spreads it ahead. Fantilli to Quinn. Sends it back in front. Tipped wide by Lucic. There it is again. And finally the Slovaks send it down.
And if Lucic wants that tip, you got to try to pull yourself away from the goaltender. Give yourself a little more room in front of the goalie.
Levi standing tall so far. He's faced 27 Canadian shots. Carcone played across. That's picked off by Ivan. Look out. That goes rocketing into the Slovak bench.
Tyler Toffoli almost picks this one out of the air. It's a broken play, pops up, good hands, and he gets it, but knocks it wide. Carcone tees up this one. Here's another shot for a tip. He's trying to find Glass on the back door. He's got a rebound there himself, but good defense. A lot of blue jerseys down in front of the net, helping their goaltender. No, that one rolled off the post, it looked like. Back door from Carcone.
Just 46 seconds left in the second period. 2:03 to go in the Canadian power play. Krebs was the face-off back. Hunt to Carcone. Shoots! Whistle not high and wide. Krebs back on it. Peyton Krebs back for Hunt. Hunt. Krebs. For Glass. Shoots from a sharp angle. Levi makes the stop on that. Hunt. Back across to Krebs. For Carcone to Hunt. Slaps it back across. The Krebs have hopped off his stick. 20 seconds to go in the period. Glass trying to dig that free. And does. Glass flips it back in front of Carcone. Holds and shoots. That's blocked by German. Final seconds now in the period. Hunt walks in. Waits. Shoots. That was blocked by Regenda. The puck's still loose. And finally batted out by Sukal. And time expires here in the second. Canada will have 1 minute and 17 seconds of power play time to carry over into the third period. It remains a 1-1 tie here in the 2023 World Hockey Championship.
Slovakia's komanda 8.
In the period, the score between the team Germany and USA after the second period, Team Germany 2, Team USA 1.
Rezultāts Tamperē spēlē starp Vāciju un ASV. Vācijas komanda 2, ASV 1. Slovākijas komanda 1, Kanādas komanda 1.
Okay, boys, I need a full stop. We got white first. Have a good second one.
No. Okay. Fast glove, good one. It looks like a piece of cake for you. Stop, stop, stop! Hey! Stop, 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 stop.
All good, boys. Really good. Really good. Good job, boys.
Slovakia number 3, Adam Yakoshi, movement penalty point. Slovakia number 3, Adam Yakoshi, movement penalty. Number 3, Adam Yakoshi, movement penalty point.
And games conduct for boring.
1-1 the score after 2 periods of play. Marek Rivik set up the power play goal by Peter Cehlarik that tied the game in the first period. Canada will start the third with 1 minute and 17 seconds of power play time. The remaining time on the Libor Hudacek 5-minute major for boarding. Samuel Orlai, who burst out of the scene with a great under-18 tournament 4 years ago. He was brilliant in that tournament, but didn't really post consistent results in the Quebec League of the World Junior, as well, was never drafted. He is only 21 years of age.
He's looked pretty good so far. This one, as has Sam Montembeault, not as busy, 13 shots, but several quality chances for Slovakia, and he's been up to the task. Now, if Canada could find some answers for their power play during the intermission, as they have a minute 17.
First stick on the ice, okay? On prvý. And away we go. If this game is tied for regulation, 5 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime and then potentially a shootout. You may recall that Canada and Slovakia have been to overtime recently internationally. The quarterfinal of the World Junior in Halifax. There's Fantilli with a shot that he played in that game, which was ended by Connor Bedard with that spectacular overtime winner.
I remember that one. Canada could use a individual effort here, and Fantilli getting lots of run on the power play here. I just wonder if they look to shoot to score and get rebounds as opposed to shooting for tips.
Long for the face-off. In the game against Slovenia, Canada had an all-righty power play and an all-lefty power play unit. With it mixed here. Long power play time, so lots of players cycling through it.
Good job by Rivik on the face-off against a really good Scott Lawton.
Uyghur drops it back for Quinn. 40 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. Cross ice pass to Lawton. In comes Scott Lawton, drops it off to Toffoli. Lawton tied up behind the goal by Rosendic. Kellerman can't clear it out. Brought in by Quinn. Jack Quinn dances 2 Slovaks, feeds it back across to Foley. Winds and shoots. Levi makes the save short side. Lawton plays it back around to Fantilli. Adam Fantilli banks that back to Uyghur. Uyghur to Fantilli. To the goal mouth. Lawton walks right out. Got to pull that back around. Levi poked that away. Now picked up by German. He sends it down the ice. And that'll do it for the 5-minute Canadian power play that had 7 shots on goal. Jack McBean works in. McBean walks right in. And now racing back is Myers, as Tamashi was bearing it on him. Not many people are going to outreach Tyler Myers. On his back.
Marco Antela's in this tournament.
Nemitz plays that back in. The play's offside at the Canadian line.
But what an emotional boost for Slovakia. Sometimes killing penalties can give energy to the bench, and I would imagine Slovakia would feel great about themselves having killed off a full 5 minutes. Yeah, there's a lot of shots.
No one did that better than Craig Ramsey, the Buffalo Sabre. The French connection got all the attention, but he did a lot of the heavy lifting and dirty work. Long-time NHL assistant and head coach.
Best part about for the game is saying we got to stop taking so many penalties. We don't teach them to hook or hold or hit from behind, and yet here they are with whatever. They must have 30 penalty minutes tonight.
Didn't tell them to.
It's not on my instruction.
Here's Lucic. Lost the puck to Panik, gathered back up by Blais, and we got a penalty coming here.
Retaliation, Sammy Blais is the call. I don't know exactly what he did. He got hit by Richard Panik right in front of Canada's bench. And did he turn around and swipe at him?
2 minutes penalty for slashing.
Slashing.
I mean, you know you're going to be on alert. You've had a lot of power plays. He seemed generally perplexed. So here's the hit I saw. It was Regenda. Oh, he tapped him in almost accidentally. Did he get him up in the visor? If he did, that's a high stick. No matter how. That doesn't be hard to be a high stick. Anything that contacts the head is a high stick.
So Slovakia back to the power play here. whoever doesn't win this game is going to bemoan the lack of production on the power play. Toshi works in. The goal mouth. Panik had that knocked away. Lawton reaching for it. Panik back with it. Plays it across the line. Toshi. That goes off the leg of Kraus and back down the ice. Slovakia scored exactly 2 goals in each of its first 2 games.
Craig Ramsdale said he wanted more than 2, but at this point he might take 2.
Rivik plays out ahead, plays it back around. Panik knocked down hard by McBain. To the open side, Myers goes after it, hacks at that. He was tied up by Rivik. Myers gets it back, and again the clear attempt was blocked.
Find a gap.
And that goes off a stick and back down the ice.
It's 100 feet wide. Find a lane. Work those second, third attempts, make sure they get it down.
Nemitz back to pick it up. Romiak works it back in front. That's laid on goal by Ocular and kicked away by Montembeault. And Uyghur sends that to Kraus, who chips it down the ice. Levi, quick lead pass for Ocular. Got it along the boards by Ethan Bear, who squeezes that out. Now picked up by McBain, short-handed. He's got Valeno and Myers with him. McBain works in. Valeno peels off. Now Myers fires it back in. McBain trying to tap that back. Regenda kicks it ahead, and Myers plays it back out. Nashko picks it back up for Slovakia, chips that back, and Rosandic has to pick it up. Tamashi plays it back in. Rosandic picked off by Blades out of the penalty box. Across he goes to Glass. Chips that back down to the Slovak zone. Krebs goes after it. Here's Glass. Takes a bump in the corner. Tries to work that free. Now Glass back with it. Forfeit for Krebs, rather. Chipped ahead by Chaho, rolling puck that was back in the corner. William Chaho tries to work that free, shoved off the puck by Myers. It's loose in front for a moment. Back goes to Germ on a bouncing puck in front, was just wide as Chaho tried to reach that. And now Fantilli back with it. Adam Fantilli through center ice as Canada's changing, winds his way in. Fantilli waiting for help to arrive. Throws that ahead for Lawton. Can't get a shot away as Cook broke that up. Nice dash there by Fantilli. Now broken up by Toffoli. Lawton back with it. Down to Toffoli. Walks it back across. And that shot was blocked from Quinn as Cook got in the way. Gloved ahead. Kellerman laid that back. Quinn couldn't clear it out. Now it's picked up by Lawton ahead to Quinn, but it's batted down by Nemitz. Simone Nemitz arrived here a couple of days ago in the lineup for the first time today. The long shot by Shuko is gloved by Montembeault.
Quinn was in a good spot on the back door. Good keep. Lawton gets it down the tires. Toffoli attacks the net, draws the attention of the defender, gets it through to Quinn. And that's probably going to go in, but Cook with the block just in time as well. And at the other end, Karamov, Lantoshi's skate gets Montembeault going the wrong way. So there's not a lot of margin for error on either side, as offense has been hard to come by in this game.
Off the draw, hard shot by Regenda hit. Montembeault in the mask. Bounces back ahead. Carconi can't reach it. There's Michal Ivan. Again, played a couple of years in the Quebec League. Nemitz chops that down in the Canadian zone. Icing called against Slovakia.
Nemitz has been rock solid, exactly what you'd expect. You see him come in here and you see him play, you forget he's a teenager. You just think, oh, he's an early pro. He's got to be 22, 23. He's 19 years old.
Just.
And physically strong player as well. And that part of the game is there for him.
And he's 6'1", 190 now. By the time he's 21 or 22, he's probably coming in around 205, 210.
I don't know if you even want, like, that balance between weight and strength and speed is one you gotta find the perfect spot for, because you don't see him getting pushed around at 190. So, you know, maybe he's a little bit bigger, a little bit more mature, but he's already capable.
This is his 7th IIHF tournament already at the age of 19. He has points in the previous 6, at least 1 point in every tournament. The Olympics, you name it, the under-18s, the World Junior.
7 different tournaments. It's not 20. Air miles.
Uyghur back across to Middleton. Middleton got around Regenda. Pivots back with it to Lucic playing the point. Lucic drops it back to Middleton. Cross he goes to Uyghur. Uyghur bobbles it for a moment. Sukal's away with it. Penalty coming to Canada. Sukal in front for Romiak. Loose in front. Montembeau save. Puck still loose. Is kicked away. And they're going to get Canada for a hooking penalty. And Slovakia is going back to the power play. 1-1 the score here in the third. Mackenzie Uyghur gets called for the hold, and Slovakia is going back to the power play here.
You know, under 14 minutes now, you are tempting fate. Keep giving up these power play opportunities if you're Canada.
Second of the third period for the Slovaks. Nimitz. Long shot, Montembeau save, rebound! Great stop there on Kelvin by Montembeau. And Montembeau's been terrific here in the third period. USA with a 3-2 lead on Germany. In the third period, the U.S. scored twice in the third to raise a 2-1 lead. Jack McBain winds out for Canada and throws that down to the Slovak zone. Joe Valeno gets into Rivik. And the loose puck goes to Middleton. Lets it right back down to the Slovak zone. Lantoshi works his way in. Lantoshi being watched by Middleton. Now Lawton to the line, but not quite out. Nimitz. Rivik takes the return pass. Rivik walks in. Middleton knocked that down and set down the ice by Lawton.
Panik was so wide open, he started banging his stick on the ice. It almost threw Rivik off, trying to force the puck to him. He knew he was over there, but the urgency of the beaver tail, he's got his own teammate.
Suko can get a handle on that puck. Canada can't clear it out. Kanashko lost the handle. McBain banks it up. Valeno's got a chance now. Joe Valeno. You know, Regenda defending. Valeno pulls that by him. Levi plays it away. 25 seconds to go in the Slovak power play. Romiak works his way in. Romiak. He watched there by Bean. Romiak spent this year with the Ontario Reign of the American Hockey League LA's farm team. Suko with it. 10 seconds to go on the power play. Ocular feeds that back to Kanashko. Shoots, bouncing puck in front. Myers knocked that away. Romiak back on it. Kanashko feeds it across. Ocular holds and shoots. Montembeau makes the stop as Uyghur steps back on. And it remains a 1-1 tie.
Here's the first shot right at the power play. And they're looking for a little action. That one, shoulder save at Montembeau. He really has been a good rebound right there. That second one, he's up and he's down. He's seen it the whole way. Chromiak tries to take this back as well against the grain. Good stretch, absorb the contact, hang in there tough, and that was the penalty. Rush, Lucic able to clear it away. That's got to be an uncomfortable feeling. You know you're going to get hit, but you got to sell out to stop the puck.
Right.
And he does both nicely.
Fired down, icing call against Canada. The Slovaks will play Switzerland next on Thursday.
Canada has
Kazakhstan on Wednesday.
19 shots, 1 goal against, but of those 19, there have to be a half dozen really good looks. You're seeing a whole bunch of them here. This looks like a busier night than a 19-shot event. Slovakia has counterattacked, been opportunistic to look for their good chances. Nothing to sway the coaches. I think that he's ready to be the #1 in this tournament.
For the Slovaks, the key is to beat the teams they're supposed to beat. That likely gets them to the quarterfinal. They do it in regulation. They've beaten Latvia. They still have Kazakhstan, Slovenia, and Norway to come. If they win those 3 remaining in regulation, they're probably good for the quarterfinals.
Right, especially with Latvia stumbling out of the gate as well. But if they pick up points against one of the teams they're not necessarily supposed to beat, then it buys them a little margin of error in case they stub their toe against a Norway or something.
Kraus got spun around. Rivik works in. That's knocked away by Joseph. Kraus, long cross, ice pass for Krebs. In comes Peyton Krebs, trying to pull it around. Mihaly Ivan took that away. Lead pass now for Rivik, working on Myers. Rivik posts up, drops it back across for Koch with a long shot that was blocked, and the dribble down to Montembeau as Kraus got a piece of that. And Montembeau grabbed the rest.
Slovakia is finding themselves in some one-on-one situations defensively, but they're doing a good job with them. Canada forwards haven't been able to shake free and get much more in the offensive zone, especially in the third period. And Slovakia likes the counterattacking rushes when they present themselves.
McBain for the face-off against Suko. Face-off control by Canada. Carcone pulls it out. Steps around Janishik. And McBain kicks that back in. Canada's got to tag back up. Chromiak. Rink wide. Regenda slaps that down. Montembeau back on it. Plays it across to Uyghur. To McBain. High off the glass is center ice. Scooped up by Neighbors. Rink wide. He goes for Middleton. In comes Middleton. Drops it back. McBain pounded that wide. Scooped back in by Carcone. And Nemeth has it back for Slovakia. Nemeth played for the Slovaks in last year's World Championship. And remember Craig Ramsey just raving about him. Suko drops it back for Nemeth. Suko bobbled the puck, and now Blais has it back for Canada. Blais across the Hunt. Going to thread that through, and now Valeno with it. Lucic touches up, and the play's offside at the Slovak line. 9:31 to go in a tied third period. You can outplay Slovakia. You can outscore Slovakia. You will not out-celebrate Slovakia. Quinn works in. Toffoli with a chance. Levi makes a save as Toffoli goes through him. We're going to call that a crease violation on Toffoli. And the face-off will come outside.
Tyler Toffoli brought in to score goals. He's been all around the net through the first few games. Step by Jack Quinn, get to the inside. Let's try to power this one far post. And Levi does a great job to instigate that contact with his right leg.
Hunt worked that free on Rosendich. And back to pick it up is Ethan Bear. Fires that back down in the Slovak zone. Rosendich back to pick it up. Knocked down by Lott. Rink wide he goes to Foley. Has a look back there. It jumps in to Foley. Banks it back down. That's picked off. And Toffoli's the lone man back for Canada. Tyler Toffoli winds his way in. Steps around Rosendich, or Chaho rather. And Toffoli stepped into him. Held by Joseph. Hunt shoots and whistled that just wide. A rocket from Brad Hunt. That shot fired wide. Joseph back after it. Joseph back with it. Up for Glass. Cody Glass trying to work that free. Now Krebs pokes it across to Krause. Krause back for Joseph. Across he goes to Myers. Shoots. That was blocked by Kellerman. And brought out by Rivik. Glass went into him and knocked that free. Myers back for it. Tyler Myers off the boards to center ice. Krause pokes at it. Krause up in for McBain. And Jack McBain back to pick it up. Here comes Krebs. Walks out, centers it. McBain's got the puck at his feet. He rolled that wide. Kanashko. Watched by Carcone. McBain back on it. And that pass goes over the glass and out.
Jack McBain has been a productive forward for Canada through the first couple games. On the score sheet, a great look in the second period as well, just not able to capitalize. You know, 2 goals in 2 games will keep you getting back on the ice. This line was put together halfway through last game, and they've tried to roll with it whenever they get some 5-on-5 time in this game, which has not been often.
Wins that face-off right back to his goaltender. And now Carcone has it back. Rossi goes for Neighbors, who has the Canadian goal in this game. Weaver back to pick it up, which feels like it was 2 weeks ago. Middleton. Knocked down Pollock on the forecheck, and now Middleton. Lost the puck to Pollock. Centers a bouncing puck, and now it's picked up by Carcone.
And a stick by Weegar, that would have been dangerous.
In comes Carcone, gets around Koch. Trying to throw that back in front. Now Neighbors reaches for it. Neighbors takes a hard butt there from Koch. It's going to be a penalty to Slovakia. Boarding will be the call on Patrick Koch. And Pollock comes over and gives Neighbors a bop.
Well, you've called some really soft stuff from the other way after penalties have been called to even things up. Richard Pollock roll by and put an elbow gently into Neighbors' face. And then that was that's not a dive. That was a heavy, heavy board from Koch. Carcone shovels it behind the net.
The officials are talking here.
Well, I mean, you got him kind of on the outside shoulders.
So
it's a heavy hit.
It is a boarding call to Slovakia, so Canada goes back to the power play here. It's first of the 3rd period. Canada had a 5-minute power play at the end of the 2nd into the early 3rd.
power play hasn't looked particularly dangerous. They haven't generated the quality of looks, despite the multiple opportunities they've had.
Face off, won by Chahal. Krause comes in to pull it up, and Krebs works it free to Carcone. Carcone flips that back, Hunt able to hold the line. Carcone centers it, bounces back to Krebs. Hunt back across, Carcone unloads, Levi makes the save on him. Welcome those of you watching the USA game. There's a tip in front by Cody Glass, the save by Levi. Canada with a power play here in the third period and a 1-1 tie. It's been that way since the first period. Canada took a 1-0 lead and a goal by Jake Nevers. The Slovaks tied it on a power play goal by Peter Solara.
The best look for Canada in this penalty-filled game has been Cody Glass in the power play. This is the second time they've made this pass to him. This one, at least he elevates it, but Levi able to squeeze it shut. That's been the best chances. Twice now Glass has had the exact same play on the power play, unable to cash.
Glass of the National Predator steps in for the draw. 1:29 to go on this Canadian power play. USA with a 3-2 win over Germany. From behind, down 2-1 in that one in the third period. Off the draw, the puck on the sideboards, picked up by Pavel Regenda. Slovakia 1-1 in the tournament, opened with a loss to their arch rivals Czechia, and then got it on a 2-1 win against Latvia yesterday. Neighbors back to Hunt. Brad Hunt. Cross to Krebs. Hunt. Works it back. Krebs shoots. Punched away by Levi. Janashik off the boards and back down the ice. Wenger back to pick it up. 45 seconds to go in the Canadian power play. Jack Quinn get across the line. Quinn centers it. Fantilli couldn't get a stick on that. Wenger can't knock it down. It's back down to the Canadian zone. In comes Adam Fantilli. Crisp wide pass for Quinn. And now Germont had the wall sealed by Lucic. Milan Lucic trying to work that free. And Chahal wrists it down the ice. That'll about do it for this power play. Weegar up to Quinn for Fantilli, jumping it out, and Fantilli pokes it towards the goal, and Hawaii makes the save on him.
Fantilli reaching, collided with Levi. Puck was still loose, but the whistle blows, and another power play goes for naught for Canada. Fantilli tries to break through. And they stay tied. There's one more second on the power play. He's trying to hook it back to get something with it, but that's a good whistle. The contact probably shoved Levi back a little bit. And you would have thought in all these power plays, Jack Quinn or Fantilli, guys who do well in the power play historically, would have found a little something. Penalty killing of Slovakia has not allowed it to happen.
Nemitz with it as Coach steps back on the ice. Centering pass, walking in, great chance for Rivik. And the save made by Montembeault. Rivik wanted a penalty. Blade lays it back down to the Slovak zone. Play was dumped. And it's picked out by Marek Rivik, who plays for Leksand in the Swedish league. That's offside at the Canadian line. 4:22 to go in the third period. It's still a 1-1 tie. here in Riga, Latvia. Canada's out shooting Slovakia 39-20. It's a 1-1 tie. Samuel Hovai has been great in goal for the Slovaks. He has history against Canada, the 2020 World Junior in Czechia. He lost 6-1 in the quarterfinals. Joel Hofer, who was Canada's third goalie,
back up tonight.
Was the goalie then. In the next year's World Junior, lost 3-1 in the round robin. Devin Levi, one of the Canadian goalies, was the goalie in that one.
So he'll now have played against everybody here for Canada in this tournament.
Ethan Bear's shooting goes off the skate.
Something
came flying off again to skate there.
We cracked the blade, but obviously not.
Krebs works that back to Hunt. Brad Hunt shoots through traffic. That went just wide. He can really heat it. And we're getting the bank set up. He needs some help with his skate. He's going off the ice. Something came off there.
A big chunk of something. They're trying to drag it back in to the bench.
Here's Hunt with it. For Bear. Through the middle of the ice, it bounced back to Brad Hunt. Ethan Bear gains center and fires that down.
They call that offside?
I think it hit somebody on the bench.
Okay, that was, he actually got this. He actually got the center ice there. Ethan Bear thinks he got slashed. This is the problem when you call so many penalties. Now every time anybody has anything touch them, they're like, that's a penalty. On both sides, we've seen Canada and Slovakia complaining for more calls.
Race for it. Riga gets back there quickly, knocks it away from Kellerman. And here's Scott Lawton, snaps that pass to the end boards. Indirect pass to Jack Quinn, works it and shoots. Levi makes the stop on that one. A heady play there by Lawton.
Quinn misread the carom. He thought it was going to head more to the corner. Brilliant pass, but Quinn starts heading to the corner. You see him changing direction. If he just takes the path right to the point, he could have a chance to maybe get to the front of the net, but he starts heading the wrong way, thinking it's going to go up the boards. Not quite reading the bounce, which is tough to do as it's coming behind you.
Lawton, the presence of mind to slap that down, knowing that Quinn had a step.
Some more of the Sedins are smiling.
Yes. Nemitz, lead pass, opponent bust again, spun around by Riga.
That's gotta be.
Is that a penalty shot?
Gotta be.
No, it's a holding
what?
penalty. And the Slovaks are screaming for a penalty shot.
And he's made the call. Nice stretch pass. Nemec hits Ponick through the gap. And I mean, I guess you'd say, is he in alone? I mean, that's a penalty. He's in clear. I don't know. I would be losing it on the Slovakian bench right now.
So we're going back to the power play for the third time in the third period.
Everyone's looking for X marks the spot. I'm with them. Uyghur lucky to be headed to the penalty box.
The universal symbol for a penalty shot in international hockey anyway.
What a good look by Nemitz as the neutral zone broke down for Canada.
Boy, the power plays and the lack of production have been a huge story in this game. Ponick bangs that back for Ribica, misfired.
It's not a big of a story when you're both struggling.
Right. As we said, whoever loses this game is going to be mown with missed power play opportunities. Canada 5-minute major.
2 5-on-3s.
2 5-on-3s. Yeah, Nemitz works it and shoots. Montembeault to save and hang on to that.
Montembeault was looking to put that down on the ground and maybe play it back out, but not a bad idea. Listen, if you're having a hard time getting in the offensive zone and set up, everyone's stagnant. Nemitz knows if I put this into the glove of Montembeault, get a whistle, then we have a chance to win a face-off and establish offensive zone time.
Off the draw, Valeno trying to kick that free, does. Well, can't kick it free, but he moved it free. Net 20 to go on the Slovak power play. Nemetz is forced back by McBain. Lantoshi comes darting in, knocked off the puck hard by Bear. And now Myers elects to skate it up the ice along with Valeno and McBain. Myers busting in for McBain. That rolls just wide. He couldn't quite reach it. Two Canadians stuck deep here. But Bear picks it up and finds McBain. For Bear. Flips it back down to the Slovak zone. Valeno peels off. He'll go off on a change. Nemetz with it. Upset back to Ocular. Romiak. For Suko. Joseph gets on it. Suko has a man in front. Romiak shoots. What a block there by Kraus. Lawson Kraus came across to take away a 5-star scoring opportunity for Slovakia. Bouncing puck goes back to Ganashko. Plays it across to Romiak. Romiak banks that back to Ganashko. Long shot that was blocked in front by Joseph. Work free. Kraus has a man ahead. It's Lawton. And the puck doesn't quite get to him. He'll head off on a change in the final seconds. And Canada weathers another Slovak power play. A minute to go here in the third period. Ganashko winds in. Overtime looming between Canada and Slovakia. Panik. Terrific quick shot there. Montembeau the save, and Canada's off with numbers. 3-on-2. Neighbors with McBain and Carconi. McBain beats it back across. Carconi is shot, and German blocked that. Great blocks at both ends of the rink. Kraus for Canada and German for Slovakia. Regenda moves ahead. Shoots, and Montembeau steers that away. Time winding down here in the period. Loose puck. Kraus goes digging for it. Steves it on Cook. Final seconds now of the period. Kraus trying to work that free. And Canada and Slovakia will go to overtime on day 4 of the 2023 World Hockey Championship. It'll be 5 minutes of 3-on-3, and if no one settles it then, a shootout.
1-1 game implies not a lot going on. That wasn't the case for this one. Penalties, power plays, chances galore. And Slovakia probably feels good about getting one. Now both teams look to get the second.
40-22, the shots on goal for Canada through regulation. On to overtime we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the score is time of the regular time. 5 minutes until overtime will follow after a 3-minute intermission. The overtime will be played with 1 goalkeeper and 3 skaters per team.
Spēles pamatā noslēdzies ar nešķirtu rezultātu. Pēc 3 minūšu pārtraukuma sekos 5 minūšu papildlaiks līdz pirmajiem 2 vārtiem, spēlējot formātā 3-3.
In the World Championships game in Tampere Arena, Team Germany 2, Team USA 3.
Spēle Tamperē noslēgusies ar rezultātu 3-2, uzvaru izcīnot ASV komandai.
Well, the Slovaks have given Canada all they can handle in international hockey this year at the World Junior Championship. A quarterfinal game that went to overtime, won by Connor Bedard. At the under-18s, a narrow 4-3 Canadian win. And now at the World Championship, a 1-1 tie through regulation and on to overtime.
Well, we haven't seen 3-on-3 play again for Team Canada. And so who's playing with who, what kind of system they're going to run. And Lots to figure out. Scott Lawton is starting at center, which will be important for Canada to try to win the faceoff, gain control.
First thing you gotta do is get the D down to the...
Well, they thought they were gonna continue with Montembeault in the third period zone. Now he's back into the... They thought he was switching. He's staying where he was in the third. So you gotta rotate the forwards down the other end.
Lawton, Carcone, and Uyghur for Canada. Panik, Rivik, and Nemetz for Slovakia. Well, you might as well put them up there for overtime.
But listen, you've come this far. What's 5 more minutes?
He just got here. All right, 3-on-3 in overtime. Canada did practice 4-on-3 power plays the other day in case they were awarded a power play in overtime. Rivik back around to Nemetz. Lawton got a stick on that for a moment. Rivik, the captain, leaves it back for Nemetz. Slovakia has 2 wins over Canada in its history of the World Championship. It owned 2 in 2012. Rivik works in. That's knocked down by Uyghur, and Uyghur was taken down by Rivets. Panik back with it. Panik works it back in front. Montembeault steers that away. Carcone with it. Slovaks are changing, so is Canada. And Carcone drops that back for Uyghur. On come Krebs and Krause for Canada. Boston Krause. Now Brett Hunt jumps on for Canada. In comes Krause. Works it on Kanashko. Krause regroups at center ice. Plays it across to Krebs. That pass for Krause misfired, and Hunt has to range back to pick it up. Leaves it there for Krause. Pokes it ahead to Krebs. Get on Kanashko. Kanashko took that away. And Kanashko swings back with it. Suko. Poke check there by Myers. Quinn trying to flip that ahead. He couldn't quite find Glass. He was off to the races. And Suko back with it for Kanashko. Lantoshi leaves it there for Kanashko. Snaps it ahead to Lantoshi. Kellerman shoots. Whistle that high. And a race for it now. Glass trying to get to it on Koch. And it bounces at center ice. Glass has it. Across the line he comes. Glass gets a step. Shoots. Bye-bye the save. Rebound. And Quinn couldn't quite corral that. Quinn back on it. Taken away by Lantoshi. Canada changing as Uyghur comes on. In comes Lantoshi with Koch driving. Lantoshi for the trailer. Kellerman couldn't reach it. Lantoshi back on it. Canada changing as Uyghur steps into him. Lantoshi throws that back, but the pass draws Ocular out. That pass goes through the crease, picked off by McBain, but he turns it back over to Ocular. In comes Ocular on Uyghur. Ocular. Rink wide for Nemetz. It skipped away from him. Ocular. Back to Nemetz. Picked off by McBain. He finds Toffoli. His first shift of the overtime. Toffoli hit with a high stick, and Canada will get an overtime power play. And the referee's checking on him right away.
2 and 11, yeah, left doesn't really matter that much. It's an extra 11 seconds, perhaps.
Chaho will go off for the high stick.
Oh, yeah. Rolled it right up underneath the visor. And so it only makes sense that in this penalty-filled game, the last 2 minutes of it will be played on the power play for Canada. You said that they had practiced the 4-on-3. Well, here you go. The best chances so far. Cody Glass sort of broke through. Levi turns him aside. So we got Toffoli a righty, Quinn a righty, Uyghur a righty. The 3 shooters are all going to be right-handed. So it should run through Quinn for one-timers for Toffoli and Uyghur.
Lawton, the lefty, for the face-off against Suko. Lawton, one of the top face-off men so far in this tournament. Wins it cleanly back to Uyghur. Uyghur back across to Toffoli. Shoots. That was blocked by German. That took a bite out of German. Toffoli back for Uyghur. Toffoli winds and fires. Levi makes the save with Lawton standing right there.
That a little shaken up by that one. He feels like, did he feel that? Or he's just finding the puck there. He looks a little slow to get up. He's okay. Good win by Lawton. That's not a long push. You see how short of motion Levi has to go now. German gets in front of the first one, but the second one, it's not wide enough to give Levi trouble going side to side. It's going to take a great shot to beat him.
And a face-off win for Canada. Here's Uyghur with it. Mackenzie Uyghur. Been terrific so far for Canada in this tournament. Drops it down to Quinn. Cross he goes to Foley, chopping at that. Puck still loose. Kept alive by Uyghur. Lawton jumps in for it. Lawton back across to Foley. To Foley. Back for Uyghur. To Foley. Uyghur. Quinn. Uyghur shoots. That flutters wide. Lawton back on it. Shields off his man Cook. And at the line, it's held by Uyghur. Back for it to Foley. Walks in, holds, drops it back for Uyghur. In for Quinn. He shoots. He fired it high to Foley, racing to it, but it gets by him and back out. And the Slovaks will get fresh penalty killers on the ice. Canada will get Quinn off as Krebs comes on. In comes to Foley for Peyton Krebs. Walks it across for Lawton. Scott Lawton works back in. Shoots. Levi got a piece of that. And Hunt holds the line for Canada. Hunt.
I'm trying to tee up Hunt.
Krebs. Hunt. Back to Krebs. Trying to slide that across. It's off the stick, up another play, and the faceoff will stay in the Slovak zone.
Good penalty killing by Slovakia. They are taking away the lanes, but it's just not fluid for Andre Turigny. Levi's slow getting up. He's probably tired at this point. 42 shots against. Team selling out in front of him.
So now Glass, Krebs, Carcone, the forwards for Canada. Hunt on the back end.
I would just take my chances on 3 Hunt one-timers. See if he can't shoot one past the goaltender.
That's what he does. Scramble draw. Picked up by Kanashko. On his forehand now. Kanashko skates it out. Bounces that down. Montembeault leaves it there for Hunt. 25 seconds to go on the Canadian power play. Krebs winds back in. Peyton Krebs holds, rink wide for Hunt. Walks in, plays it across for Carcone. Carcone back to Krebs. For Carcone, a sharp angle shot hit the goalpost. Krebs back with it. Final second of the power play. Krebs walks it in shoes. Levi gets a piece of that. And it bounces back out. That'll do it for the power play. Now time winds down here in the overtime. And Canada and Slovakia are heading for a shootout. Both goals scored in the first period. Tons of power play chances after that, including one for Canada in overtime. It's on to a shootout we go here in Riga.
First elimination for Team Slovakia by number 28, Riga.
The shootout underway. Richard Panik in, scores! Panik gives Slovakia the lead. They won the toss and elected to shoot first.
Rolls it to the blocker side and shovels it up. Catches the toe of the pad and caroms in. Interesting bounce for Montembeault.
Now Jack Quinn of the Buffalo Sabres. Quinn winds in and stopped by Levi.
Did not bite the backhand middle at all. Just hung in the middle of the net, didn't push off. It was right there. Nothing for Quinn to go for.
Eric Rivik has some experience in the NHL with the Rangers in Calgary. Moves in on Montembeault and rolls off his stick.
It's just it, slips under the toe of the blade, trying to start the bike, sell the shot, and go backhand just over top of it.
And Canada's next shooter is 18-year-old Adam Fantilli.
Why not? Why not?
30 goals in 36 games at Michigan this year. The Hobie Baker winner is the top player in college hockey. Fantilli works in. What a move, but he flipped it wide.
Slowed it down. Trying to pull it 5-0. We've seen Patrick Kane almost come to a standstill, but Levi is right on top of it.
Matushuko. In on Montembeault. Shoots at the goalpost.
Doesn't even take a wind-up, just starts right at the center ice, comes in and shoots quickly, blocker side. Doink off the post, had him beat, but not the post.
Now Cody Glass from Winnipeg, Manitoba. In to tie it up. Glass works in, scores!
Similar to the goal that Jake Neighbors scored. Gonna shovel it 5-hole quickly. Just get to the right of the paddle, near the right ankle, to the right of the heel of the stick.
Peter Cehlarik scored in regulation for Slovakia on the power play to tie the game, now to give Slovakia the lead in the shootout. Cehlarik rolls off his stick, doesn't get a shot away.
That happened right off the start. He bobbled it when he picked it up, and he was sort of trying to settle it, never really got it right. And he's trying to get it settled, and it just skips away from him. That's a tough break.
Now Tyler Toffoli winds in on Levi, shoots, and Levi makes the glove save with some authority and throws the puck back.
He's having some fun down there, isn't he? Battling and stared down Tyler Toffoli several times, read the eyes and the stick, glove side, scrapes it away.
Romiak played the American Hockey League this year for the Ontario Reign LA's AHL affiliate. Romiak to give Slovakia the lead, scores!
A little around the world, how do you do? You wave it over top as though you might be going forehand, and then you pull it hard backhand. And you see Montembeault start sliding to his left, Romiak headed back right. And Carcone has to score for Canada to stay alive.
Michael Carcone from Ajax, Ontario, moves in, scores!
Oh, that is pressure. Gotta score to stay alive. That's pressure. And Carcone pulls it, just zips it.
So now the shooting order gets reversed. Canada will go first for the next 5 shots, and now you can start using players over again.
And Cody Glass going back out. He scored on the 5-hole. And now you're thinking, do I go back to the same thing? Do I not? Does he think I will?
In comes Glass on Levi, and it trickles wide.
Did not go with the same move, same route, but it tried to go forehand side. And Levi makes a save, not quite sure where it is, but it's not in the net.
And now Slovakia goes back to Panik, who opened the scoring of the shootout. A chance now to win it for Slovakia. Panik works in, stopped by Montembeault. On to round 7 we go.
Quick release, Montembeault equal to the challenge, gets down, take the 5-hole away. Oh, it's rattling around there, didn't quite elevate it over the paddle.
Carcone's second attempt.
We'll go with what works.
Scored to extend it in round 5. Carconi works in, stopped by Levi.
That's great stuff from Levi. Same pass. You know Levi's thinking he's going glove, which Carconi thinks he's hoping he goes with, but he shut the 5 holes closed before he even released the puck.
Simon Nemec will shoot.
Why not?
Hasn't shot yet. He's got a chance to win it. Nemec winds it on Montembeault. Nemec shut down. On to round 8.
Took his time, trying to get Montembeault to start cheating. Stays right with it.
Quinn was Canada's first shooter. He was stopped.
He's got a great release.
In comes Jack Quinn. On Levi, scores!
He's got a great release. And that one, the goalie's always think you're gonna go back against the grain glove. Pulls, and you see all the space there. Levi thinking glove side, beats a blocker.
And now Romiak, who scored in round 5 for the Slovaks, needs to score here to extend it. Romiak in on Montembeault, shut down, and Canada wins it.
What a game for Sam Montembeault. What a game. What a fun game.
He stopped 6 of 8 in the shootout, faces a bundle of Slovak power plays in the 3rd period. And Canada beat Slovakia 2-1 in the shootout.
Made a couple saves that he had to make to keep the game going. And a hard-fought game between these two teams. Ends with Canada taking it in a shootout. They'll get 2 points.
Slovak pick up a 1. Slovak pick up 1, and that's likely to figure down the line for them. And their fans salute them. But Canada faced elimination in round 5 of the shootout. Carconi scored. Panik and Nemec both had chances to win it in round 6 and 7. But then Quinn scored, Romiak stopped, and Canada wins it. First time Canada and Slovakia have ever gone to overtime at the World Championship. It was worth the wait.
A spirited, testy affair.
Yeah, had some bite. Slovakia's Libor Hudacek was kicked out for a hit from behind.
And Levi, 42 shots throughout the game.
I think he might get a call or two from an NHL team this summer.
Right.
He's only 21.
And it looks as though he's got a little moxie down in net. He's having some fun down there, battling as he had to.
And here now the player of the game presentations.
Best player league Slovakia. Slovakej spēlētājs Slovākijas komandā. Number 31, Samuel Levi.
No surprise there. The name of month in Slovakia. Spent a couple years with Sherbrooke in the Quebec Major Junior League. Played in 3 World Juniors for Slovakia. This was his men's national team debut.
Might be double goalies for this one.
Best player in Canada. Slovakej spēlētājs Kanādas izlasē. Number 35, Samuel
Montembeault from Bécancour, Quebec.
Good for him. His wonderful season continues.
Under siege in the 3rd period especially.
Two goalies congratulate each other on a job well done.
So Canada improves to 3-0 in the tournament. Slovakia drops to 1-1-1.
Dāmas un kungi, lūdzu visi, kuri var piecelieties, lai godinātu Kanādas valsts himnu.
Tough game by both teams out there. Nonetheless, a shootout win for you. What were your thoughts as the game was going on and the team couldn't quite convert on those power plays?
Yeah, that was a crazy game. You know, it looked like a playoff game. Like both teams were going at it. Obviously, I think we got to work on our power play. We didn't cash in there, but no, they fought hard. They blocked a lot of shots there on their PK, and their goalie played awesome.
Seems like the third period warmed you up for overtime and that shootout. Are you a fan of shootouts?
I am not. It's stressful. It's a one-on-one. Like you never know what can happen, but we came out with a win. It was great.
Can you finish this last one in French? Thoughts on the game for your team and how pumped you are to pull away with that win?
Ouais, c'est vraiment une belle victoire. Évidemment, il faut travailler sur notre avantage numérique. On a manqué beaucoup de chances d'heure, mais il faut donner du crédit. On a bloqué beaucoup lancé. Ça a été vraiment un bon match. Puis le gardien a très bien joué. Donc maintenant, on se concentre sur le prochain match.
First game joined the team. Your thoughts on your team's effort here today?
Yeah, great effort. We killed twice 5-on-3. We killed 4-on-3 in overtime. Great game for us.
You got to talk about your goaltender here and the effort that he put forth. What are your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, our goaltender was great, and I think we helped him a lot. But yeah, it was a great game for us.
For the team, what will you take away from this game?
We can play against every team in this tournament, and yeah, I mean, like we played a great game. I think we could win.
Taking Team Canada all the way to a shootout, your first game with the team. What will the team take away from this game?
Tak myslím si, že to bol výborný zápas pre nás a z tohto zápasu si zoberieme len to, že môžeme hrať proti každému týmu a myslím si, že veľa ľudí nás podceňovalo pred týmto turnajom, ale stále nám fandia a verím, že sme ich trocha prekvapili a stále môžeme hrať lepšie.
Thank you.
Holy boys.
Jeez, boys. Fuck.
Correction in the net.
Too close for comfort.
Are you missing that again? You did. Doesn't count as a shot on net going off the post.
What a fucking fuck, boy.
Team Canada, number 52, Nancy Riga.
Slovakia